want to do is gather your stitches. And what you want to do is sew from this dot to this dot, two rows of it within the 5-inch seam allowance. Use a long basting stitch. Next, you want to take your pattern back piece and stitch it at center back at 5/8. Once you are done stitching the back, what you want to do is bring the back and the front pattern piece, and you want to stitch it together over at, oh, this is wrong. Okay, right here. You want to stitch it at the overarm right here at 5/8, and you want to stitch right here at the underarm at 5/8. You want to do that with both fronts and the back. So the next thing that you want to do is fold over and press 1 inch to the wrong side. And after you're done with that, you want to baste it if you'd like. You could skip this part if you want, but I like to baste it in place close to the edge. And then you want to finish your raw edge with like a serger if you want, but if you don't have one, I'm going to show you what to do. You just take 1/4 of that raw edge and just fold it over like so, and then just pin it. That way you're encapsulating that raw edge so it doesn't really move, doesn't fray. Just like that. Just like that, you hand sew it or sew it with your sewing machine. I'll see you in for the next step. Next, what you want to do is take your sleeve and you want to fold over where the fold line is on your pattern. So, for example, here is my pattern right here, and I'm doing view B. So you see right here where it says fold line B, you want to fold exactly where this fold line is on your sleeve. You're done doing that, you want to fold over 1/4 of the raw edge in. You can finish your raw edge with a serger, or if you don't have it, you can encapsulate that raw edge like we did with the hem. And but make sure that when you sew this, you leave about a 2-inch gap right here, because you want to put your elastic in there to make to create this as a casing for it. You're done doing your casing and you sewed this over, you should have left about 1-inch gap right here. So just take a safety pin with your elastic, and you should have already cut your elastic to the size of the pattern. And then now what you want to do is just take it and just put it in here, just pull it all the way through. What I like to do is kind of wait until it goes in as much as I can right here, and then I'll just grab just to pin it in place so it just doesn't get lost for me. Just pin it right there and then just continue. All right, so here it is, and then you just want to pull it through again, through that gap. Okay, and now unhook that. And now what you want to do is sew right here, just to join those two, that elastic together. Once you're done doing that, you want to close the gap that you had right here, and then you're finished with doing the hem of your sleeve. We are doing the neck facing now. So what you want to do is take your neck facing and your front band sections, and what you want to do is, with right sides together, pin them at the seam right here, but you'll know that you're doing it correctly if the peaks right here are facing opposites from each other, so that way when they are sewn together, they look like the diagram. Okay. They look like the diagram, and it looks like this. This peak is facing that way, and this is like this. So it looks like that on the diagram. You want to do this with this one, and also the one with interfacing on it. So with right sides together, just take your center back seam, like this. Matching all the seams together, so shoulder to seam, shoulder seams to shoulder seam from blouse. All right, so now what you want to do is gather this right here so it could fit the band, stitch at 5/8 around your facing, and then you want to trim the seam allowance. So let me just go sew, and then we'll trim everything together. Take your neck facing now with the interfacing, and what you want to do is press under 5/8 of a seam. What you want to do is press under 5/8. So what I like to do is just go to the sewing machine and baste 5/8, so that way I have a guide. So now you just want to go to the ironing board and just press this under and trim about trim under about 3/8. So just leave enough so you can fold it over. Do is take your band. I'm just going to show you really quickly because I just jumped ahead without realizing. You want to pin your interfacing band with the band here and stitch those together at 5/8. What I'm going to do is take your interfacing band with the one that is here and then attach them together, sewing at 5/8 all around. Then you want to understitch the band with the seams going towards the interfacing band all around the front band and the collar. Afterwards, you want to stitch this. If you didn't sew before you do anything, you want to make sure you stitch this area. And then after, when you're done with doing all of that, you want to bring together this like so, kind of pin it, tucking it away like that. All around the blouse. So remember, you want to attach the collar, the interfacing collar to the, you want to attach your interface band with the other band, the facing band. And then you want to understitch the band that's going inside your blouse, which is the one with interfacing. And then you want to attach, then afterwards you want to tuck in all of the excess here. And all you have to do now is stitch this close to the edge as possible, like so, all around the collar. Now all you want to do is take your pattern piece number 3 and transfer these markings where your buttonhole is on your left band, and create the buttonholes here. And then you want to attach your whatever buttons you're using to the right side. And that is everything. You have completed your blouse.